Hey guys, what's going on? It is CruZzAve here and I welcome each and every one of you to a brand new tutorial video for the guide. And today we're going to talk about finishing, to be more precise about the low driven shot, which is kind of having a comeback in FIFA 19 after it's been so powerful over the last years and this year got dominated by the finesse shot in the beginning. But after the latest patch, the low driven shot gets used more and more since that finesse shot is nerfed and you need some other viable options. Finishing in general is very tricky at the moment in FIFA 19, and so we're going to have some more videos about it in the future. One of them will be a shooting basics video where we will explain all the important factors for shooting, like your player's positioning, his direction of movement at the moment, his ball control, the impact of defenders, and so on. So definitely go and check out the links in the description if that video is already released, since it will be the foundation and all the factors will apply for the low driven shot as well. In order to perform a low driven shot, you have to hold L1 and R1 on PlayStation or LB and RB on Xbox while powering up the shot. It's a new combination in FIFA 19 compared to double tapping the shooting button, which of course now is used in order to do a timed finish. So if you haven't used this combination for the low driven shot yet, it might take some time in order to get used to it, but it's not that hard to do, so you should learn it rather quickly. I hold down both bumpers until the shot is taken. Some people have been complaining about getting lobbed shots instead of the low driven ones, so maybe that will help you out. Just hold them both down until your player has finished the animation for the shot. And of course, while doing all that, you have to aim with the left stick towards the corner that you want the shot to go into. I want to mention here already that timed finishing is very important in order to get the most out of your low driven shots. Non-timed low drivens can definitely go in, but they are rather inconsistent. Yellow timed ones are pretty awful, red ones we don't really need to speak about after the patch. And the green timed low drivens really are the deadly ones, very powerful, very precise, and you will even be able to score from some spots that your opponents won't be prepared for, at which we will take a look in some examples later. Of course, from a mechanical point of view, that makes it all a bit more complicated. My personal follow through is holding down L1 and R1 and the shooting button at the same time, starting to power up the shot as a low driven, and then I keep holding down L1 and R1 until I press the shooting button again right when my player is about to make the contact, in order to get a green timed finish. If you're struggling to hit your timed finishes consistently, not only for this shot but in general, then I definitely recommend you to check out our tutorial on this new feature. I've linked you it in the top right corner. If this shooting technique is new for you, I would advise you to first practice it in the skill games, get a feeling for the button combination as well as the timing from different angles, and then go and implement it into your game. Now that we've taken a look on all the mechanics, let's focus on how you can use the low driven shot to its fullest potential. In general, I would say that it's most effective inside the box, but with that being said, this shooting technique can still work when you're just outside the box with your player and in a good shooting position. In general, there are three main spots where you can score with this shot. The first one being when you're inside the box on the left hand or right hand side of the goal and your player is facing straight towards the short post area. As you can see in this example with Neymar, the short post area will naturally be covered by the goalkeeper, so the far post is more open, and so the chances of succeeding when aiming for the far post are much higher. So for the follow through, you can see ball acceptance, facing towards the short post, then pressing L1 R1 while powering up the shot. Here I missed the timing, I pressed the shooting button too late, so it's a wide time finish, but it still goes in. Note that in these kinds of situations, a shot into the far post area might be quite obvious, so if you're playing against a good opponent, it could be that he's trying to move the goalkeeper into that direction, and so the short post area is more open. In FIFA 19 you just have to consider that and adjust your finishing accordingly. The second spot is quite similar to the first one, again the area being inside the box on the left hand or right hand side. The two main differences here are your player's direction and also the distance towards goal. First, the direction, which in this case is more to the outside, almost to the corner flag you could say, instead of pointing straight towards the short post. And here the distance also comes into play, since if you're already closer towards goal you could still ignore the worse angle and go for the far post finish. But if you just entered the box, then the distance towards the far post is very long, and also it's almost a 90-degree angle for your players, so a very hard finish. And here the short post area is actually quite effective, especially if you hit the green time finish. These are tough finishes for your players, but if you hit them green, then you can surprise your opponent by going for a low driven shot into the short post area, which due to the angles and how FIFA is programmed is not covered so well by the goalkeeper. And last but not least, we have the third spot, which, surprise surprise, is more about angles from the center. Here you have both options. You can go for the far post and for the short post finish. It comes down to which angle is more open, so where you have a bigger gap without defenders to shoot the ball through, and also what your feeling is where the goalkeeper is positioned and which corner of the goal is more open. To sum it up, I feel like right now the low driven shot, especially if you hit those green time finishes, is a very good option to score goals consistently. Even though I want to point out that of course not every shot is going to go in. I picked out examples here that worked out very well, but you will also have some that miss, which I will show in the background right now. In FIFA 19 it's pretty hard at the moment to score every chance after the nerfs to time finishing and also the general inconsistency if you don't use time finishing. So just try to find the best option for each spot. I feel like the low driven is very versatile because the angles you have on goal don't matter as much as, for example, for curved shots, and you can surprise a lot of opponents right now because the low driven wasn't used as much before. Just experiment with it, guys, and try to find out new ways, new angles from where you can score using this shot. Here you can see an example where I perform a step over with Ronaldo and the opponent is covering the far post very well, so I decide to go for the near post low driven and it works out perfectly. So guys, just go out there, try it out and surprise some opponents. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope it has been helpful to you. If that's the case, please leave a thumbs up, since that will help out the channel massively. And also, if you're interested in private coaching by elite top 100 and pro players, check out the link in the description to our coaching website. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any further videos of the guide. I'll better talk to you in the next one. See you then. Much love. Peace.